been a long relationship. Me and science fiction. I've been into it since I was a kid. It's always been something that's existed in the back of my mind. I have another career as a science journalist where I write about technology and outer space and innovations in the world of science that are happening every day around us, things that can really change the way that we think about the universe and our place in it. At the same time, I make music. The ideas that we play with at Yacht tend to be kind of like grand scope, large scale things in the same way that science fiction plays with like large scales of time and big ideas that affect all of humanity. We try to do that on this sort of microcosm. My first ever science fiction book I bought at a yard sale when I was like 8. And I read it in one sitting in my parents' basement, like in the heat of the summer. And it just like blew my mind completely open. Like I had no idea that books could be like that. The sense of discovery that you have in a bookstore is so much more random and uncontrolled. You just are looking at stuff and then eventually you find something that you just had no idea you would discover and you didn't go in there to discover. I see a much stronger lineage between the science fiction writers than I like and like the punk rock bands that I like. Punk rock is about reclaiming things that were not given to you, like taking the standards of rock and roll and subverting it to make it about the things that you care about. And science fiction is about taking these grand things that have been traditionally denied the everyday man. Science fiction writers take that away from institutions and make it about literature, make it about art, and make it about fiction, make it about psychedelic ideas of exploring the universe. And that's, to me, a very punk rock gesture. We'd use this Buckminster Fuller idea of doing as much as possible for as little as possible. That's another kind of science fictional concept. Everything that you see in the world that has yacht on it was made like with our human hands, and that to us is really profound punk ethos. The philosophical structure of yacht. The general thing is like self-empowerment, awareness of difference and respect of other people. If there's no boundary, then you are completely empowered to create your own reality. And if it doesn't fit into a pre-established framework, then you make a new one. It's a little bit of a mix of like science fiction, speculation, punk rock ethics, and just common sense, in my opinion. That's what yacht is about. It's an amazing phenomenon of the modern age that we can record, create, store, design, and disseminate our entire identity, essentially from one desktop computer. That seems pretty science fictional to me.